Hello guys, good morning. I know we have been working on one of the assignment from past 2 weeks and we could not complete that. So I thought I will make a video for you guys and then so that you can view that video and complete your assignment very fast. So I will just quickly show you the assignment image so that you guys can, yeah, better. So this is the image we're trying to accomplish as a web page, and we'll be doing that today. And I will try to cover as much as possible in this video so that you guys can use this video to complete the assignment and learn something as part of our regular sessions and the learning process. Okay, so without wasting time, let us create one file or a folder in one of your machine, and then we will get started. So I have created a folder called MWB, which is Mentor Without Borders, the organization where we all support you to learn programming. And as you can see, I have this folder right over here. I will create one file, index.html, because that is the base file for our web page. And I'll add the boilerplate, which is the HTML and the head and body tags. I will also add the title tag, which is assignment 1, and then we will have a body tag. Says this is my web page. I've just added this content just for just to check if our application or if our web page shows up in the browser. And as you might have gone through my earlier videos and installed the Visual Studio Code and also the live server plugin, which is there here in the bottom. So I'll click on this once I have the boilerplate set up, and I get this page running lively, which is listening to my changes in the editor, and I also get to see my changes right away the moment I do it. Okay, that is the major use of live server. It will be keep on tracking our changes. So once we are done with this, the major portions I see in this web page is icons, the heart or the logo icon or this laptop or pencil icons. These are the icons or SVG images which we can use from other sources like Font Awesome or Bootstrap. For this exercise, I chose to go with Font Awesome. So I will show you guys how to use that and download and install as a separate folder in your application and use all the icons provided or supported by Font Awesome in this lecture. So I will paste this URL here. You can take a look at this URL from here and pause the video and probably type it by yourself, or I will also add this link in the resource section of the YouTube video which I'll be uploading after recording. So here we just have to follow the instructions given by Font Awesome in this page. So we are not going to use the CDN version or the package version of Font Awesome. We are going to use the files, the extracted files in our application. So go ahead and click on this button which says download Font Awesome free for web. Okay, so you click on this button and then you will download, it will download a folder or a zip file. So please do extract that zip file and then copy paste that complete folder in your application folder or the folder where you have the index.html. So I solved it. Okay, so once I've downloaded and extracted and pasted the folder, complete folder, of course we can get rid of some of the folders, but that is not the intention of this lecture here. So we are trying to include Font Awesome in our application. So let it be there and we don't worry about the size of the application anyways. We just want to complete this assignment and see how can we complete this in a quicker fashion. Okay, once we are done with downloading and extracting and keeping the file, we have to add this link file, link tag to our HTML in the head part. So I will just close this so that you can get the clear view. So you see that link tag which has been added and it says your path to Font Awesome. and CSS and all.css. My path to Font Awesome is in the same folder. Visual Studio Code provides you the intelligence to find the folder. I'll just say /. It gives me that Font Awesome free folder. I click on that. Inside that, I want to go to CSS folder. Inside that, I want to go to all.css like recommended here. CSS and all.css. Okay, once we are done with that, it will take care of resolving other paths for us, and we don't have to worry about doing anything else. Right? Once we are done, we can start using the icons. So just for the testing purpose, I will copy this and paste it in my browser and just save it. Since we are running on the live server page, which is being served lively from live server, is this. This is my web page, and along with that, the icon from the Font Awesome icon. We can change the size to make it look big. Google for that. Font Awesome sizes. Okay, so this is how we use the classes. We just have to add this class FA2x, 3x, 4x types. So this is FAX, that's it. So we are not adding any 2x or 3x. So I'll just copy this FA2x and put it in my class list and save it. The moment it gets saved, and as you can see, the icon size changed. I will change it to 3x now. See, it changes. I change it to 4x. It gets even bigger. So we can use this class to increase the size of the icon. This is the icon which says what is the icon we are looking at, and this is the default styling which Font Awesome applies to any of icons. Okay, so that's it with Font Awesome, and we don't have to worry. Let's jump directly into our application. Okay, or the web page we are trying to address. So to begin with, I'll clear all the code whatever I've written till now. I will start with the fresh page with the Font Awesome in my page. So I want to drill down this web page into 3 sections. One is header. Header has this logo and has sort of menu items. We will just put the simple text items there, and we have this body or the main content of the page, which says I love color and some text and over to you button. And after that, we have the 3 tiles which looks like a bootstrap thumbnail. Okay, which has an image or an icon and a header and some text in each of these thumbnails. Okay, so we will try to drill down and break it into pieces and then achieve differently, or probably separately. Yeah, so I will start working on the header first. I have not using any third-party libraries except for Font Awesome, just to make sure that you learn the basic CSS and not rely on any of the libraries like Bootstrap or Foundation or anything like that. Okay, so let's go with a div tag, and I will create one styles.css file here, style.css file, and add it in the index.html, the similar way I've added the Font Awesome CSS. /styles.css. Okay, and I will provide a class for this div. It says header. Okay, so now, of course, the application is keep getting refreshed. I want my header class to be present in my styles.css, and I want for the header to occupy the complete width of the web page. So what I say is width 100% of the web page, and height I want just 100 pixels, and I want the background color to be white. Okay, I save this. Of course, you don't see any change because that is also white and the background is also white. For that, I will just add another div to differentiate. I have another div. Let's say this has not body. I'll say main content. Okay, I'll add that class to here. Main content. The class name should start with a dot, and I will add the background color as just for the time. I'll add teal, and I will add the height as 100%. Okay. I have not saved the index.html. I will save the index.html. Now you see my web page has two sections. One is body and the other is main. So we are getting this margin, right? Let us debug and see why that margin is coming. Right click and inspect. Inspect on this main content. Main content does not have anything. This header does not have anything, but the body tag has margin 8 pixel. Let us see where that is coming from. Okay, go to computing, margin. Margin is coming from the browser, so we can avoid it, not a problem. Let us go to our styles, style.css. At the top, since body is at the top, this is best practice to keep the styling also in order. So since body is a tag, I don't have to add this dot. It can be the browser will pick it directly by the tag name. I will say margin 0. Right, now you see there is no white space around any of my section. Right, so the page is completely occupied with my browser layout available. So now let us start adding the content to our header. So what do we have? We have, again, let us deal separately here also. We'll bring this major component into individual components. So what I see is one logo here and multiple text or the menu items here on the right side. So what I see is this can be divided into half and half. Right? In the first half, I can put the logo, and in the second half, I'll put the text. So I will divide this header into two different columns, or I would use the grid structure CSS. You can copy paste or read about grid structure in MDM or CSS strict. Grid structure CSS. Okay, you have this, a complete guide to grid CSS tricks. I would recommend to go through this link because this has the complete introduction to how to use it and how to achieve some of the use cases. It has all the things covered for you. So let it load. Meanwhile, I'll start writing my code here on the left. I want to display it as grid and grid template columns. I want to divide my columns, right? Whenever I'm dividing my columns, I have to tell how many columns each component should consist of. Okay, so now I'm dividing my entire screen into 12 columns so that it fits or adopts to the universal guideline of responsiveness. So I will say 6 fraction columns. Okay, inside my header. I save this. I'm not sure why this isn't loading, but yeah, you can go to this link and read about it. Just go back. Oh, okay, it almost loaded. Yeah. So here we have from introduction to everything you need to learn grid. Okay, now I will add 2 divs inside this. Like I said, each of them will be 6 FR, 6 fractions, which is out of 12. I am dividing the screen into 12 and giving each div 6 fractions. So I will have 2 divs. And in my first div, I will add 1 icon. Why don't I go to Font Awesome and get 1 icon for me, which looks similar to this, maybe an airplane. right? On the search, I say plain. Okay, I have so many options here. Which one do we choose? I'll simply go with the, this is pro version, this is pro, this is the free version. Wherever it says pro, this is all licensed icons, but wherever it doesn't say pro, we can be used freely, like how we have configured the files from free font awesome package here. It says free. So I'll just copy and put it here. That's it. And if I want the icon to be bigger, I say FA2X, which we learned earlier. Right? I see the icon appearing here. FA, sorry. So now, yes, I say 3x. And the best thing with grids is the browsers can identify and tell you how much space they are taking. So when you hover on this, it is showing you that there are two grids and it is dividing with a dotted line. How much is first div and how much is second div. When you hover on first div, it is showing how much space the first div is taking, right? So instead of writing the CSS here, I will start exploring my CSS in web browser and then copy paste it to my editor once the final structure is decided. Okay, so here I use, for this div, I use display flex and I say align items center. Align is always vertical and justify is always horizontal. So I say justify content center. So now you see this airplane icon is at the middle of our 6-column grid. Okay, so now let us copy this and let us provide a class to this div. Let's say logo. Okay, I will add the class here, logo, and paste the content whatever we picked up from our browser and save. That's it, reload and still fine. Okay, and now let us start adding the content on the right side here. So the content for right side is list of texts: red, blue, green, yellow, and pink, purple. Right, I will just add probably span tags, not p tag, because p tag is a block level tag and it puts the elements one below the other. Of course, we can tackle that with flex styling, but yeah, I choose to prefer using span. You can choose whatever you want. So I just copy and paste it 5 more times. I will add the color names: red, green, yellow, white, blue, and more. Okay, let us save this. Now you see all this content. The grid structure, the best way with this grid structure is it auto aligned, as you can see. Just a second, the logo CSS is not getting attached. Sorry. Okay, I fixed it. Perfect. So now let us style the right side content. Let us go here and say again display flex align items center. Okay, sorry, I'm doing it wrong place. We're supposed to be doing it for this div right side. Display flex align items center, and this time justify content. I am not going to choose center. Instead, I would say space between. As you can see, the browser calculates the entire space and it allocates the space between each of the elements. Okay, or I would say space evenly so that we have some space between the right and left side as well. Okay, yeah, and the moment I was typing, you could see the difference, and you also see how easily we were able to align them by just by 3 lines of code. Right, I will add a class here, class menu. Okay, I will go to my styles. I will add menu and paste the code. I will save both of those files, and of course, boom, hot reload, and we have the content. So now we are done. But yeah, this header is definitely not as same as height as this. So let me just adjust. I will reduce some 20 pixels. I will make it 80 pixel. The best way is, the best part of Flex is it is still aligned center. We did not have to calculate the height or the position by pixels. The browser did all that for us. So now let us go and pick the color. Okay, so let's see how to pick a color from image from your browser. So just drag and drop the image, or you open this location of the image in your browser. You can do that manually. So once that is done, if you're using Chrome or Brave browser, you just type color picker extension, and Google gives you this. Choose the one which says ColorZilla, and the other one did not work for some reason. So add to Brave. In case of Chrome, it will say add to Chrome. So it has been added, all good. So all you have to do is one more thing. So go to extensions. I will just pin it for my ease of use. I will click on this. Since this is a file which is residing on your machine, it is asking for your permission. Click and enable allow access to file URLs. Just click on that. It will take you to the extension supporting page or the configuration page where you see allow access to file URLs. Just enable this. Okay, once you're done with that, all good. So now you can start picking the color from your page. So click on that and now choose the, as and when you're changing, moving your cursor, you see on this place, yeah, the color or the specification for that color is being changing. Right, so now for the sake of this assignment, I will choose this color. I will just move my cursor on the color wherever I want, and then just click once, and then the color will be copied to the clipboard. Okay, so main content is where I want it to be changed. Instead of teal, I'll remove teal and paste the new color. My assignment got changed. Yes, cool. And now let us start adding content inside our main content section. So just to keep it simple, I will add this part first. So again, let us separate or break our main content into two different sections. One is this part and the other is the tiles part. So I will start adding this one text and an icon, right? So let us start adding. I will say P, I will say I'll add the icon which is heart. Let us go to Font Awesome and search for heart. Let us choose the free version. Let it load. Copy the HTML, paste it. Oh, done. I will say FA-3x. And what do we have? We have another text below that, or sorry, in the same line which says color. Color. Okay. So now let us first align this line and then go to the other two lines. I will save this. I'll come here. Of course, this is coming one below the other. We've not put the flex styling yet. I will select main content. Just to break things into further separation, I will create 3 separate divs for these 3 things here. So in the main content has this one section and these 3 tiles section. So firstly, we are dividing the main content into two divs. Inside the first div, I will again divide them into three divs. If you're wondering how I'm copying and pasting at the same time, it is Option and Shift and down arrow in Mac. You can use that. So in my first div, I'll put this. And you can hold the Option and move the divs or move any line up, above or below. Okay. Something definitely went wrong. I'm supposed to copy this and paste it here. Perfect. Other two divs, and there is another div for tiles which will come later. So I save this and go to my assignment. It is still the same, but yeah, now we will make it different. So in this, for this top level div for the main section, I will say display flex and justify content center. Okay, that's it. And let us go into this div which has the first line, where I'll say again display flex and bring them into one line. Okay, and I want them to be look like this. So color is different and there is margin between them. Right. I will add color white. Yes, we got it right. And I will also give margin to the p tags in the div so that we'll get the look similar, and we have space between the text and the heart icon. And I'll also give some font size. I'll also change some font size and also change the font family. Let us see all that in action. So for the main div, I will just say first div inside my main content, first div. I will paste this, and I have my header div or the heading div. Heading, whatever you want, call heading. So I copy these two, save it here, and now inside this first div we want to find out the p tags. So first div, inside that p tags, this is how you find it, find the direct children of this div, and I would give margin left 10 pixel, margin right 10 pixel. Okay, just save this. Okay, the p tag did not get the styling. Just refresh. Heading and p tag inside that. Let me remove this anchor and say find all the p tags. Yes, now we do it. So I will reduce the font size of this icon and make it 2x, and I will align all these things in one line. So let's say my heading or first div height is 300 pixels, and line items is center. Okay, I'll add these two to my first div to position it properly, and to the p tags inside my heading I will say font size 32 pixel, and probably change my margin to 10 pixel up and down and 0 on left and right. Probably that is wrong. It has to be 0 up and down and 10 on left and right. 10 pixel. Okay. Probably this is looking good. I'll just say font size P. Replace this. Perfect. I love color. Maybe we can give 20 pixel space. Right. Next we have a text. Below that we have created another div for that, of course. We'll simply say P. Stop writing and start writing. For this I will just say lorem ipsum. Lorem, I want 40 characters. Enter. So Visual Studio Code takes care of giving us 40-word length. So I save that and it sits here. No, I don't want. Thank you. And since the first div is display flex, it is coming in one line, but we can change that. We can say flex direction to be column, so that the divs one after the other will be falling one after the other and not side by side. Okay, and I will say, or I will style this here directly, call it subtext. Don't do that. Google, don't ever do that. So I have something called subtext. I will reduce the font size, maybe. Font size is just 20 pixel. Save. Okay, and subtext. I will set the width of this text, or we can also do it for the parent div. This width 400 pixels. Okay. This is strange, but yeah, let us figure out everything. Font size, okay. Everything inside P is, we made it as 32 pixel. I will just add important to override. So now we have 20 pixel. So I don't want lorem ipsum 40. I will just say 20. Okay. Don't ask me again. Perfect. And the subtext can also be colored. I will say color white. Right, I will reduce the font a bit more. 16 pixel or even less. 14. Perfect. And I'll give some margin to differentiate them. Margin top 32 pixels. Okay, say important, right, and there we go. I'll copy paste the CSS. To my subtext. So the last section pending in my first section is button. I will add it right away. I'll add it in the third div we have created here. I will add button tag, which says over to you. Right, now you see the button. So let us quickly style the button. I will say height 60 pixel, background transparent. Okay, we are not doing it for button. To select the button and do the changes. Okay, button height 60 pixel, probably it is too much. 40, yes, fine. And background transparent, border none, and what do we need? Okay, border is not none. We'll give 1 pixel solid. We'll change the colors in a minute. And border radius to get the curves 30 pixel, probably a bit more. 40. Yes, we've got the oval shape, and I will also change the width to 60, the 120. Yes, and add some margin top, 32 pixel. Right, so this is base, and let us collect the color from here. I'll click on the color picker, pick color from page. This is the color I want for the button to have the background, and I will go to my assignment. Background instead of transparent, I will say I want this color, and I also want the border to have the same color so that it doesn't differentiate, and the color of the text on the button is white. I will change the color to white. There you go, we have a button. So we select all the styles, go here, probably add a button class btn1, go here, select dot btn1, paste it, just dot, save both the files. Yes, perfect. Now we have the entire menu and the first section. Probably the color of this text is also white, so let me just change it. Color white. Yes, looks much similar, much better. Yes, but one more thing which I've noticed recently is this text is center aligned, so we can do that. So I'll show you how it is done. So in the P tag, so I'll say text align center, simple, right? And this is our subtext, so I will just copy and add it in my subtext property. That's it. So now let us concentrate on looking at the tiles done. 3 tiles and we will be done. So I believe the video is taking larger time than I expected. So feel free to pause and take a break, and then come back, and then we will finish the other parts. Okay. So I took my break, and I am back indeed. So let us start with creating the tiles, and we'll be done with this assignment. Right. So yeah. So we have already divided our main section into 2 major divs. One has the color and the button, and the other one we will add the tiles. So for this we'll need 3 different tiles. So I'll just right away go and add 3 divs and make it 3. I will say this is blue, this is green, this is red, like it is here. So let us save this, or probably add a class as a card. I'll just copy paste it to these 2 as well, since all of them are same and all of them will contain the same styling. Okay, and this is my tiles container. Okay, perfect. I'll save this. Now I have red, blue, green. Right, so let us start writing the styles. For tiles div first, so I would say with 100% of course, yes. Display flex, and anyways by default the direction is a row. We don't have to provide the flex direction if it is a row. Only if it is column we are supposed to mention that attribute and provide the value as column. Since it is a row, I'm not adding that. Just to repeat, and we will say justify content space around or space evenly. Okay, perfect. So I'll copy this. I'll go and create the tiles class. .tils done, and I will start writing the styling for card. So let's say my card has height of 100 pixels, background color white, width is 300 pixel, maybe a bit less, 200, and the height is a bit more, not 300. Yeah, fine, maybe a bit less. 260 and 220. Okay, nice. This looks like that enough. Perfect. And inside the card, we want again display flex. And here we want the elements to be aligned one below the other. So I will say flex direction as column and justify content as center. And okay, since the flex direction is column, now the justify is top to bottom and align is right to left. So I say align items center. Perfect. I will copy this. I'll create the card class. Now we will have the same style applied for all the three. Perfect, right? So now all we have to do is put on one icons and some text below that. Icon above and text below are names. So I want an icon which is a laptop. I say laptop. Font awesome as basic ones. So I'll choose this laptop code on a coder. I copy and yeah, paste it here inside this div. Let's just save and see how it looks. If it requires any styling, yes, it requires some styling. Firstly, we have to increase the size. Fa-3x, save it, and I want this card to space them evenly. So instead of justify content center, I say space evenly. So once we add the other attribute or the other part of this card, it would look fine. At least let us assume that until we do it. So basically I've not practiced this and then doing, since I am doing it while recording, probably you might see some hiccups which I am facing. That's okay, everybody goes through that part of it. And I will just say this as P and add this blue inside that. We will work on one card and then just replicate the styles and the tags for all the other cards. Right. So I have another P tag I will just for the sake I'll say 11. Here I would say maybe 20. Yeah, I save, go here. Okay, so right, so to this one I say text align center, font size maybe 12 pixel, and padding of 10 pixel, maybe more, right? And let us remove the margin if there are any, 0. And the padding also let us give only to left and right because the space between them is calculated by flex. So no top and bottom. Top and bottom is 0, only left and right is 20 pixel. Right. Just for the look, I will remove this. And let us copy this. And I say every p tag inside my card will have this styling. So I'll save this. Perfect. So colors are different, fonts are different. We'll just change that. This P. Okay. We'll call this span. Okay. So for this span is fine, I guess. That's okay. We'll change the colors later. So we'll repeat the same here. So we'll add an icon. The icon we're looking at here, it looks like a board, drawing board. Take this, probably I would say drawing board is not there. Something for drawing, yeah, okay, I'm fine with this. I'll select compass, drafting compass, and I'll add it here. And I'll change the size to FA3H. This is span. And I will just copy paste this p tag. Right, I'll repeat the same here. We have pencil. Pencil must be easy to find. Right, there are too many pencils. I'll stick to pencil and ruler, first one. Copy the HTML, paste it, change the size, change this to span, and copy paste this text. Okay, let's go to our page. Almost there, right? So all we have to do is probably provide some box shadow to this content so that it comes out of the page, like it is sticking. So I will say for each card I will add box shadow, which is 2 pixels and 8 pixel, maybe not black. Let's say 8 pixel is too much. So I'll take the color from here for the box shadow. I'll put this on the noise. 2 pixels. Probably the same color doesn't come out. Where do we find it? What are we seeing here? Let us explore some black or RGBA. I would say 0, 0, 0 and 0 0.5. Yeah, this is perfect. 0.3 or 2. Yes, now they stand out. RGBA is red, green, blue, and A is alpha. So you can read about it. Do that. Paste it in my card. Sorry, not card P. In the card. And save. Perfect. I think we are almost there, or probably there. So one more trick I want to show you. Whenever you create a button like this, so it is good to have the cursor pointer so that the user gets to know that it is clickable, right? I'll just add that one last property, cursor pointer to the button, so that when you take the mouse, it becomes a hand. It says it can be clickable. And if you don't want this border, I will say outline none. So you won't get it. Simple. I'll copy paste this to button 1 class. Save it. Yes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys liked. So please feel free to comment below on this video or reach out to me in Skype if you have any doubts. Let's get rolling. Happy coding.